Thank you. Okay, everybody. Should be all up. I never turned the phone off and turn it back on again, so that should be good. So if everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Received news on of Virginia Davis, who's a longtime resident of ours that lived on Gillette Road until she was moved into an adult assisted living in Albion. She passed away this morning. So if we could please have a moment of silence for her at her phone. Okay. Bills, everybody's had a chance to check them over? Any questions?
Are you keeping all this jury?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the costs for for the jury. The jury gets paid for through the Board of Elections. Now, will that bill come back to us from the Board of Elections? I don't know. But at this time, the jurors get paid for by the Board of Elections. But their meals, the stenographer, all those costs were for the jury trial. And it will be going through it again, I think, in another month or two.
The other question was on consulting services. Is that something that she could go to the state zoning or assessors or even to Berries?
Well,
Charges.
the person she had come in has been she's been a mentor of hers. She has worked with her. She's also past president of the Assessors Association for New York State. So she came in just the one time to help her weed through everything and get organized in the office there. What things should she keep? What things could she throw out, of the old documents?
Okay. I'm not questioning this bill, I'm just questioning the future. New York State assessors that you would cost.
Yeah.
That's.
Any other questions? Lee said she had to go right to YouTube. And she's got us at this time, so that's why I said, okay. Otherwise, I was going to try and reset it again. Microphone's turned on, and obviously they're working. Okay. Would you please? So Margaret makes a motion to accept the bills. Dave raised his hand. I guess that means he's seconding it. All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Next, minutes. Okay, you get them?
I'm sorry, Carrie.
Carrie was right next to you. No, it was Carrie and I go, then, right next to you. Okay.
No, we're still trying to get our Bluetooth up.
Technology. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, under old business, Hemlock Ridge. Nothing has really moved that much at this time. You have something to add? Have you heard anything from Danny Boy?
But yes.
I got other terms for him, but I'm not gonna say.
The tax jurisdictions are meeting that. Next.
That was what again?
Tax and jurisdictions will want to midweek next week. It's my first official meeting.
Do you happen to have for the invite Scott's information, new supervisor for Shelby? True, that's right. I'm sorry. It's not like us. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Baird Solar Project. Nothing much right there right now. I think I said last month they're planning on starting on site, starting to lay things out and we're still waiting for our 2 checks yet from them. But hopefully, they said at the latest, they should be in this coming week. So until they give us the checks, we get the money, they're not getting permits.
But I believe they've been applied.
Yep.
That's what true. So now.
Okay. Heritage Wind.
To a settlement as to the dispute about the amount of bill that they paid for. Initially, the town was only awarded $2,300 for the agency. Pursuant to a settlement. Requested raised to a total of $36,000 exchange. Withdraw the appeal of the local figure statement of the determination to accept the contract. Expect things to actually right now that the funding issue is.
Now that our town attorney has finished talking to us under new business, I would like a motion to appoint our town attorney, Ms. Bridget O'Toole. All in favor?
Thank you.
Opposed?
Oh. I thought-
So carried.
Yes,
Okay,
which
I
the
didn't know if
board,
you would jump back up to there.
nope, the
So,
board
I
has,
would say that you,
yes.
All under the one Okay, for the motion for accepting the new town attorney and the contract agreement we have with her. Is that okay? Is that good if that way? Is that gonna
If you
change
think-
anything? That's why I'm looking down.
The only thing I would add is if instead of going through this thing again next year, we go.
Well, town attorney, just like anybody else, it's an appointed position. You can't do for one and not do for others.
It's an appointed position, but if it's then, if there's a specific problem with the attorney, if not, it's cost them money. And
Mhm.
not-
I agree. I agree, but that's what this board decided to do a year ago. So then we can say the same thing about appointments for the planning board as well as for the zoning board. That unless somebody has an issue that we can address, then therefore we can just reappoint them if they wish to carry on in that capacity.
their term is up. They have a limited term. That's
But if you can ask if they wish to continue on,
Right,
because
but
as you
Heather, but there
know,
may
it's
be
very
some-
difficult to find.
But you also have to open it up. When their term is up, the term is open.
Oh,
So
okay.
you bring
So
other
it's
people
okay
in.
to spend money that way too.
That's just the way it is. If the term is up, then that opens up to the community if somebody else wants
Her
to
term
serve.
is up after 1 year.
Right, and we have the. Okay, so.
That's all I'm asking, come on.
I mean, if you wanna take and spend the money to appoint and have some.
I don't want to. This
What's gonna happen
board,
is the lawyers are gonna
this
say it's a waste of
board-
time to come in and interview.
oh, I agree, but this board decided a year ago, this is the way we've gotta do it.
I think there was a
Board planning and zoning. Term
Oh, now it's
up.
being modified.
Exactly as the minute.
As the minutes were written or as the conversation was carried on.
How did we do?
Just a reappointment, just like we did with anybody that was appointed. They were consulted, they agreed, we hired them.
And-
Unless, I agree with George, if we have an issue, then we have a discussion about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's right about that, but if
Mhm.
we don't have an issue, and we're happy with our attorney, it should just be, we didn't pass with the other attorney, just be a real thing.
I agree, and with planning board and zoning board, and any other appointments.
There's a difference in a lot of capacities between members of the zoning board, planning board, and
An appointment is an appointment.
so residents of our community, and again, I'm not really sure why you're arguing this, because I think that in all honesty, I think that we're on the same page on this. So I think that, the idea is maybe we need to clarify, and that the intention was of the motion or the resolution that was made, and maybe we need to go back and look at it. The intention of what.
The
it was-
intention was to clean the board and bring in other people. That's what the intention was, and we all know that. I can easily say that.
And the appointment of other positions, planning, zoning, it is different, and it is, I do agree that it needs to, for the planning board and zoning board, where we're opening it up to residents to be able to share and be able to participate in their government. I think that that is not something that we should just not let anyone know, not post it, just, hey, you wanna continue serving? Okay, great, continue serving. I know that we have a hard time getting people to serve, and I really do appreciate and value people that have stepped up and do spend time serving in our community. But I think that, a paid, where we are like contractually paying an attorney, a professional service is being provided by a certified, by a licensed attorney, is a different, commitment and is a different aspect. Yes, you are correct. They are both appointments. But I think that there is a vast difference in those types of appointments. And I think that, it's not appropriate to handle those in the same ways. I think that we do need to, if there is a problem, if even one board member has a problem, I am completely fine with bringing it up and discussing and looking at the potential of having a new hire. But if everyone says, nope, we're not having issues, things are going well, I'm fine with re-looking at it every year, bringing up that question every year. But I don't think that it's the same.
Yeah, I put it down for a future workshop for discussion. We don't need to be going into that right at this moment. So we can move on with, we're going off onto a tangent right now.
It's part of it.
No, we just concentrated on Miss O'Toole here.
Okay.
And she wants another motion to accept her contract.
Just.
For the one, yeah, that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we gotta vote on that. Are you accepting that as part of that?
Yes.
Okay, then we don't have to vote again.
Yeah, that's fine. That was
Any-
the proposal I sent to you guys, but Sean.
Anybody at the board here, any questions or concerns on that? Do you wanna be comfortable with their vote? Okay. Yes. Okay, next. CNHP CIT service agreement. We just spent about 45 minutes with Joe about this. Any discussion on this at this time? Or should we just go ahead and vote, or let me know?
I like the one-stop shop and the one first to go to cybersecurity, and then it's going pricing for the agreement staying the same as a smart relation move because always Dale brought up, call him one of his teams. I make a motion to accept the agreement as well.
He changed because he said for the first year $40, and he said he'd be willing to, for the year 2 and 3, he would go to $40 if we so wished.
To accept his agreement has been changed
With,
as discussed. Okay, I'll make the motion to accept the agreement by CNPC by Joe.
all in favor? Okay,
So I agree with the service. I agree with what you said, that it's going to get locked in for 3 years price. I wish I would have went back 3 years to see where we are. Maybe leave forgiveness for that. I was thinking about that further with that. Initially when I went through this, it looked like it's $371 you guys want to spend in front of it. $500 a month for the same service we're getting. Yes, I agree with adding the cyber. I agree with adding the things that you said for, benefit. Even if we do that, it brings it up to about 600. We're paying an extra $150, $200. This is just from last year. But it's $200 a year. Hopefully, with us upgrading our software, upgrading everything, prices should be going down. Shouldn't be paying as much. But on the flip side of that, for the $200, I asked about training. It's going to cost me training. I'm afraid if we don't do this agreement, you might say my hourly rate's going up. That quickly take care of that $200 a month.
He said $100 and
So like I said, I was hoping that we could maybe table it and look at it some more. I agree with everything that you're saying, Dave, but I think I'm probably gonna have just because that $200 a month.
your numbers are not accurate, George. Remember, as I pointed out before, he did a lot of freebie work for us too, which at $100 an hour or whatever it was prior to the $100 an hour, if he had billed us for that, your numbers would be greatly increased.
So I appreciate that, but it's kind of like, was he fishing them? Was he setting us up for that?
Oh,
No, I don't
I
think
don't
so
believe
either.
you said
But,
that.
but all I have is the figures that I went by, what we paid last year. And yes, we are gonna be doing more. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather do it piecemeal and save the money and see where we're at next year than probably what the training would cost us, everything else, it might end up being more than what his agreement was, and then you guys can also, well, I told you, we could have went with the agreement.
I don't want to find out the hard way.
Services, so the cybersecurity and the
Storage.
training and all of that aspect, it takes a commitment and time and follow through of setting them up and doing it, and actually utilizing those features and the maintenance and actually everybody, setting up a day and having them come in and do all of the computers and, having the laptops here and all of the organizational aspect of having that done. I know that the town website has been being worked on for a really long time, and it's just not the top priority, and it keeps getting pushed off, and I think that my concern is that the same thing will happen in this situation, like, if I could have, like, Sean, your word, or whoever, to say, no, you know what? This is, if we are going to agree to this, we're gonna set dates, we're gonna move on this, and we are gonna make sure that all of these services that are being offered or that are, part of this agreement are going to be implemented within this year. And
Don't,
we are gonna have the cybersecurity stuff is all gonna be up and running within the next 2 months. The training is going to be done, have all the stuff so that it's not, well, yeah, we agreed to this, and then year 3, we come in and we're like, well, we didn't get the cybersecurity going, we didn't get this done.
yeah, but
I don't think
once again, I don't think you're giving Joe fair credit. That man has worked his ass off. And he has made sure he has called. Don't use the website as an example, because that's not Joe. That's partly mostly my fault on that, because it's not high on my priority list right now to complete our new website. But I have a meeting this coming Monday as well with Joe and going over that, because I found a number of things I want corrected on it.
I'm saying that we other things as a priority, and my concern is that the same, I'm not saying that Joe won't even email us and say, hey, just a reminder, guys paid for this service, something that you should be doing, but that we have limited ability to take on additional projects. And if we are going to be paying this much for this service, I would want to ensure that we're utilizing that we're actually moving forward with that. So I'm not saying that Joe is at fault in any way. I'm saying the reality of how busy everyone is and everything else that we have on our plate, that this is something to consider.
That's what the agreement is, for him to do A, B, C, D. And within the year, because that's our agreement, if there's any issues, we say, Joe, what about this and this? And it's in the agreement that we're gonna do this.
So I guess that my question then is, so it would be Joe's responsibility in the agreement to go through and to set up the time and to get things going on all this, because from the past, we've been the ones who have been, like he does his stuff and then he sends it to us. And then we're the one, we have to review it, we have to respond, we have to do our part, and that's where it's fallen down. I'm not saying that that's where we haven't been able to follow through.
I think it would be up to the board, and if there was anything that to get a hold of Joe as a board and say, so, what about this and that? I think he'll be doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot of the cybersecurity in that, which we won't see until he comes up and says, A, B, C was done. And if he's doing nothing, then we would get back to him and say, Joe, what happened was this 1 year contract, but this and this and this was supposed to be done, and we're still lacking. And my biggest fear is the 3 year prices have gone crazy. Everybody knows. You see it in everybody's business. And if we can lock into a price with somebody that has pretty much had our back, even if it's a little bit more, a lot of stuff he did. And was he fishing that? I'm sure he wanted to. That's what you would do. That's what I would do. But from my past experience, way before I was a member of the board, Joe has never let me down in the 15 years I've used their service. So that's just my experience. I mean, he's always been there. Today I called with a mouse problem. In a minute, 2 minutes, he called me back. Okay, this is what this fixed, which meant to me. That's pretty important, as opposed to, well, maybe let me see if I can fix it or something to that. We're not computer experts. Nobody up there is a computer. And that's the one thing, Joe, you can't paint. So I ain't gotta worry about that. He's way better at the computer.
IT person.
Yeah, that helps. That's the only thing. And if you start to falter, that's us to say, Joe, get on this. This is why we have this written contract. That's the deal behind contracts.
And Joe just texted me here. He said 90% of this is on them to get completed. It would be done by them without us seeing, but he would be letting us know, hey, we did this, that, and the next thing. When he's talking about those fishing expeditions where they would send out a potential cyber to see whether you open it or not and respond to it. So they would be doing that, and they would let us know. Okay, and he just wrote to me saying, I will provide reports. Thank you, Joe. Okay, we had a motion, we had a second, we had discussion. All in favor? I'm sorry, once again? Aye. Three. Those opposed? So carried.
But for peace of mind, my numbers, if you add in the training, everything's gonna get out of it. So we should be okay.
Okay, that's based on your opinion. That are not accurate, but that's okay. We deal with inaccuracies. Okay, investment policy. Because we switched banks, nothing has changed on the investment policy at this time. This is something basically because of the state. We've utilized them when we revised it a couple of years ago. And trying to remember the name of the bank we dropped off of here, but we added New York Class in its place. We still use Five Star and Albion, which also part of our account through Five Star is handled by M&T out of Buffalo. Green County Commercial because of the refinancing of water districts 2, 3, and 4. So those are the 4 financial institutions that we are set up with at this time. So because of the change, I would like to have a motion to accept the new investment policy for the town of Berry. All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Yes, we did when the CD came due. I cashed that in. I had some numbers I wanted to share with you at the workshop. I didn't get to it. It's something for later. But yes, we do have the investment with New York Class at this time. Next, Dale has every year, and we generally do it in January, where we have what's called the Section 284 of the Highway Law to allow the Superintendent of Highways, Dale Brooks of the town of Berry, Orleans County, New York, and the undersigned members of the town board shall agree that monies levied and collected in the town for the repair and improvement of highways and received from the state for state aid for the repair and improvement of highways shall be expended as follows. A preliminary assessment of needs has been completed for the town of Berry for the repair and improvements of highways as funding has not been approved from the state of New York. It is intangible to list the locations and types of repairs and improvements of highways. As funding is approved from the state of New York, the Superintendent of Highways, Dale Brooks, will update the lists of improvements. This is, as you've heard every year, Dale has to do these repairs, get the bills, we have to pay him. Then he submits the bills to the state and under 3 categories? 4? Under the 4 categories, he submits the bills and then hopefully the state, and they have so far, even through 2020, submitted and reimbursed us for every penny. What are those for? Just so they have them?
Yep, paving north, stream winter recovery, and $8 hospital.
Oh, yeah, pop. Forgot about that one. Okay, so like I said, every year we have to go through this. And we've signed it every year, just so Dale can go ahead and do the repairs and everything, and then submit those bills to the state. So you'll get it as soon as everybody gets a signature on this, because everybody has to sign.
Take it to the county highway too.
So do I hear a motion to accept
I'll make a motion. to
section
accept
284?
I'll make a motion. to accept it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I'll pass this down, please, all the way to Carrie. Everybody has to sign, so Dale can submit it. Go with the third.
Pardon
I
me,
have to leave New York.
stream winter recovery, EWR.
Okay. That takes care of everything that I have for new business at this time.
Just very briefly, because I think that this clarification is needed. I went through last year's minutes and, there were 2 resolutions and I believe that were, that Sean was referencing. The first was organizational meeting on January 3rd. Resolution.
To go back and reference that at this time, as I said a while ago, this is something that we can discuss at a workshop.
That we only advertise for the attorney position unless there is, if a board member has a problem with, if any board member has a problem with the appointed. And then if someone seconds it, then we can discuss.
I said at a workshop,
Sorry, but we're.
at a
everyone-
workshop, because then we can talk about a number of different things at that time. And everybody has an opportunity to share at the workshop. Do you understand? Oh, yes.
And that we have the opportunity to all equally elected officials. And so if there's something that I've made a motion, if no one seconds it, then we don't have to discuss.
I'm sorry, Terry, I didn't hear that.
The motion was that we, only, only advertise for an attorney, for the attorney position if any board member, has a concern or would like to, bring up a concern in regards to that appointed individual. Yes.
I see.
And so in the discussion, I was just going to share that the resolution number 1 that was made on January 3rd was to advertise for positions. George McKenna made a motion to advertise for positions of planning board member, planning board alternate, zoning board member, and grievance board that are currently open for reappointment to be submitted by January 17th, 2022 to legal newspaper and Milton Penny Saver, and to add a note that if you are interested in serving on any of the boards in the future, please notify the town board. That motion was passed. Then resolution number 2, appointment for town attorney. Dave Waters made a motion to table the appointment of the town attorney until the January 12th, 2022 town board meeting, as this would help the new town board members. That motion was passed. The, resolution January 13th, 2022 meeting, resolution number 9 was for advertising for position of attorney. Carrie Richardson made a motion to direct the supervisor to advertise in the Batavia Daily News, Lake Country Penny Saver, and Orleans Hub for a town attorney for the town of Berry, stating that any interested person should submit proposals to the town of Berry by January 21st, 2022. There was nothing in any of the resolutions from those meetings that said that the attorney had to be interviewed on an annual basis. Just wanted to clarify that, because I think that it's important.
Next year, so we don't have to spend money
Yeah,
unnecessarily.
I understand. We have a year to.
That's what I was trying to point out, but
The challenge,
Oh, I'm sure you'll bring it up, and I'll be right there with it. I mean, I just think,
that it's something that could just be cleared up right now,
my.
and that we don't have to bring up again, and it doesn't have to be, that it's continuous of, this is your fault. That we have to do this because you guys said that we have, that's not the case.
And as she points out, he didn't say it. Was fault. Shouldn't have had to go through, going through the advertising it, spending money for advertising of the lawyer, go through the time of the, interviewing with the lawyer. This way we can clear it up and save that time. And if there's a problem, yes, then we bring it up just like we did last. So, I second it.
it's,
I'm sorry. I'm fine, the reason that I brought up, to be completely honest, the reason that I brought up the motion was just so that I could share this now, we don't have to do that.
yeah,
It's just done. Like, and I'm fine if we don't, I will even withdraw the motion. I just wanted to have the opportunity to share that information and make sure that this is the reality of what we voted on and what was discussed. And it's not what's being portrayed.
I agree with you on that 100%. I just think that we've already made the motion that nothing's gonna change. She's our attorney for the next year. I mean, and I understand, but there's no money's being spent the next.
But if we're going to get to do that again, because it's gonna, even though she's doing a wonderful job, he's gonna have to go through the whole thing, come in for an interview.
But we may, at the workshop, decide that's not needed, we vote on it at the next meeting. I mean, again, I'm just saying, I don't think it's a tonight thing after we've already, she's our attorney, and it's not changing her position. You know, and you brought it up, which I truthfully agree with you. So I'll have
I
you
just-
back on that. That's not a problem.
Like, and I honestly, I don't even feel we need to do it at the next workshop. I don't think we need to discuss it again. I just think that, I just wanted to clarify that so that next year, everyone's on the same page and it's not, oh, you said it, he said, she said. It's just, this is what was in our minutes. That's the reality. We're not doing that game again, period.
Okay, there's a motion on the table at this time. And a second from George. Gary, how do you vote on this motion? Okay. Dave, how do you vote? Margaret, how do you vote? George, how do you vote?
Aye.
And I'll vote no. Okay. Before we give that to Gail, please make a copy of both pages for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Good. Okay. Moving on, financials. At the end of January, total receipts for the month was $381,968.47. For the town board, for the town, year-to-date expenses were $54,673 compared to the annual budget of $581,000 or 9.4% at this time. Workers' compensation and New York State retirement bills have all been paid in full, so we've got them out of the way. Highway year-to-date expenses, $81,949 compared to the annual budget of $1,338,992 or 6.12% of the annual budget. And out of his budget, because the town pays part of the workers' compensation and New York State retirement, the other part comes out of Dale's budget as well. And as I said, that's all been paid for now. There's a small segment comes out of yours. Okay. Dale, your report. Mild weather is giving you lots of work time, huh?
That's the job done. Hopefully, it's stormwater, they don't salt.
I heard you talking a little bit at the beginning of the workshop having to do with our reimbursement from the federal government because of the emergency, the snowstorm. Are we any closer to getting anything out of that?
Nope. Not decided whether we've been declared into that. Status yet.
Is it county by county deal, or is it town by town, county by county?
Yeah.
Pretty bad to me, I don't know.
Yeah. Shelby and Barry got hit the worst. The other towns really didn't have anything out of the final.
Okay, so that might
I
be,
think if we had granted the three orders that we did, we'd have done days on that.
okay. Now for the safety, I mean, what if that fire that happened up on Hemlock Ridge had occurred at that time and you didn't have the roads open? Okay. Everybody sees his report then, right? Why were some of the meters frozen? The basements were a little cold?
Yeah, that real cold stuff,
Yeah.
the high winds.
Are they the ones that are like trailers or regular homes?
I think one was a trailer, one was a home. Basement windows. West wall.
That was a question that I did have. So I think the meters are, those are the kind of.
They have, no, they have a coat, they call it frost coat on the bottom that blows out. They're designed that way. So it doesn't ruin the home either. We still, replace the interior part. We'll screen it there. And fix it.
So that's all you had to do, just some minor repairs, not replace the whole meter. Okay. Assessor's report. I believe I sent that, forwarded it out to you. Ag exemption renewals have been steadily returning, must be received by March 1st. 400 plus parcel renewals mailed. Many farms have 10 plus parcels. 120 plus parcel renewals need to be returned. She's mailing out reminders to those that have not returned them as of yet. 4 new enhanced star applications have been submitted. Heard a gentleman at the desk today asking for that application. She completed the New York State required harassment and discrimination webinar yesterday. You have to do it once a year. That's the pain in the butt. But yeah, she only has to do it once. I mean, it's like Margaret, she does it for every year for the school. Well, she submits that. She doesn't have to go through the training we go through here because she does it there. Yeah. Okay, building permits. Shelley gave us, there are 3 building permits for the month of January. You also have a copy of her certificate because she went for the training. I believe this is the one she goes to in Niagara Falls, I think. And she also, the last page, she compiled year by year the number of building permits. And they kind of fluctuate. What surprised me was in 2020, there were 52. And I mean, the highest number we've have on here is 62, 67. So that kind of surprised me in 2020 when everything was shut down.
Where was off?
Yeah. They didn't have contractors working for them, that's for sure. I know that for a fact. Okay. Maureen, I skipped over you. You got your report for me? Okay. See how many megabucks, yeah, megabucks. So local shares you brought in were $664.75. Department of Health and Ag and Markets was an additional $61.50. Okay. Okay, Margaret, anything from the planning board? Okay, so, yeah, this coming Monday is when they meet again. Gary, anything in the zoning board decide to meet yet? Okay. Park, Dave.
It's when.
Yeah.
Nothing right now. Let's see.
I had received a text message on Sunday about the flag at the park, in case someone inquires about it. The flag at the park, because of the high winds we just had, the rope snapped, so the flag was laying on the ground down there. So I went down and brought it back here. And Dale and the guys, when the ground is harder, more firm, we'll replace the flag down there. So if anybody wonders what happened to the flag at the park tomorrow.
Yeah, in the next couple of days, it's gonna be.
Yes. Okay. George, utilities.
Reached out. Qualified in certain districts that there will be EV charging stations. I looked into it. Believe it or not, the border for the 100% runs right through the northern part of the town park. Okay, hey, we're gonna qualify. Talked to this Lauren, I pull it up and I actually read you her response, but the internet out to Deborah Lavera. I reached out to her and said, hey, do we qualify for this? She said she'll have to get to a superior. Bottom line was, nope. Why? Because where we want to put it, I assume we want to put them near the parking lot or near the building, and that it's that, what, 50 feet away from the border where they have it. Really? And they wouldn't do it.
What about here?
Nope, we're not even close. We're 2 miles. I said, well, we're also 2 miles from the town board, town building, ask about that too. But not even hard.
This line.
Yeah.
You had to be north of it or
It's
south?
not- North. I'll be involved.
Person.
But we're not. But it goes right through the baseball field.
They do that because of population.
They do it because of whoever drew it and whatever it was.
Social.
Yes. Yeah. They had a. So it's.
Well,
So,
we're gonna need a place for our school buses in the future to stop because they're all gonna be electric. Thanks to the,
well,
Governor.
and that's the other thing, looking into this, it's pretty interesting. I didn't know much about it. The ones that they want to put in are the L2s, which are cheaper, which, okay, you're gonna be somewhere for a couple hours. Like the library, like the park, that'd be great. You'll get a charge enough for about 50 miles. Because it's a slow charge. Everybody wants to, if people are driving through, they're looking for the high charge ones, which are the expensive ones, and that's not the ones.
yeah, you have level 1, 2s, and 3s. Ones we wouldn't even consider.
Everybody's gonna look for the two. If the twos were 100%,
Since pay for the ones that need to. Welcome to New York State.
well, if you got 2 hours sitting around, I'll charge for 50. The other thing I gotta look into is the cost, because I was thinking, okay, they're gonna run it, they're gonna charge the cost, and with the video that they gave us that we can look at, it's actually fixed. They were charging 30 cents a kilowatt, costing them 18, and thinking, okay, we can make, we're saying the electric, we get 12%, 12 cents kickback. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we have to pay, that they're free, and I think we pay for the
They're
electric.
paying for the other.
I'll look into that too.
Have you spoken with a gentleman whose name I gave you a year ago there from the Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Planning Council?
No, something you said was gonna get hold of me, or you were gonna have a meeting.
Rob Richardson. I know that's the name that's hard to forget. Yeah.
I thought you didn't remember that.
Rob Richardson, who is located in Rochester. His phone number is 454-0190, extension 21. He replaced Haley Farrington, who I worked with before in trying to get Barry a green community, clean energy community program. I was involved with her. And he replaced her. see what he's got to say as well. And then we still also have Dina Barone, who had ideas as well. I don't know if you spoke with her.
No, like I said, the only one we were supposed to,
Dina's Dina Barone. And I do not. Here we go. Her direct line number is 917-484-2336. Okay. Bridget, you said a mouthful at the beginning. Anything to add? I'll take care of that first thing in the morning. Or first thing in the afternoon, I should say. One announcement I have, I'm trying to get something from the BBC because next month is Founder's Day. So what I was told is that presently the BBC is working on a Heritage House project for Founder's Day. And I was told, because they don't have all the particulars yet, to please check their Facebook page for the details in the coming weeks. Okay? Our next town board workshop is March 8th at 6 p.m.
I do have something for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before you adjourn, for the next meeting, maybe I should go out and workshop, but I will not be in the state for a week. I can leave a week before or a week after. I can change it, or I just need to. We'll have no access to this enough. I literally will
Come on, state of Florida?
be, no, it's not. It's it's driving and drive out. I'll be in. So I can do it, as I said, if it's good with everybody, if it's okay, I can either do the week before, week after, whatever, we'll. And the.
The other meeting, yeah,
So whatever.
both the same night. Okay.
You know, that's for everybody, like I said, sorry to.
Okay. We'll curse you the whole night. That's no problem. Okay, so our workshop will be March 8th at 6 p.m. and our board meeting will be March 8th at 7 p.m. Okay, anything else? Do I hear a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you, everyone. Bill? Ah, you didn't need to say sir to me.